You're my sunshine in the brain when it's going. Won't you give yourself to me? Give it all. I just wanna see. I just wanna see how beautiful you are.
Hi guys, it's Avalon here and welcome back to Simply Avalon. And as you can tell from the title of this video, this is going to be my semester in review. I have been waiting so long to be able to do this video. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I am so excited to tell you guys about what all has happened this past semester to me. For those of you who don't know, I am a first year in college. This year has been so crazy, just so crazy in the best and in sometimes the worst ways possible. It's just been a time to be alive. But I mean, I had to wait until this past Tuesday to get my final grades in because I know you guys are gonna be curious about that. But other than that, I think that's all I have to say in the intro. Let's go ahead and just get started. I am going to be looking down because I do have a notebook just to keep myself on track. So we're gonna start off with just the classes and grades just to get the boring stuff out of the way, because let's be honest, I know that's not what you guys want to hear about when it comes to like my college experience. Like obviously you'll want to hear a tiny bit about it, but not the majority of this video will be about that. But I actually took, 7 classes this past semester, which added up to 14 credits because I took like 3 1-credit classes. But we'll get to that in a second because I would never do that again. But I survived it and we got all A's this semester, so I am so happy about that. But let's get started with what classes did I take. I'm gonna start off with the core classes first. My first class of the day for Monday, Wednesday, Friday was my Lit 295 class, which was anti-Semitism and German culture. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, this was my favorite class by far this semester. Now, funny story about how I got in. As you guys know, if you read my blog, which is simplyavalon.com, I actually went to a summer program at my college for 5 weeks, and I got to meet a ton of different people, both people that I now consider my friends and then mentors, so like professors, administrative people at this college, and one of them happened to be the teacher of this class. So I emailed him earlier because the class said it was filled online, and I was like, look, I want to be in this class. Is there any way that you can open up one additional spot? Yada, yada, yada. He responded and he was like, I'm sorry, no, I don't think so. It's already a super big class by like my college's standards, which is like 23 or so students. And I was like, dang, okay. But then I get an email like 2 minutes later and it's like, actually, call me. So I had a conversation with him and he was like, you're Avalon from the summer program, right? And I was like, yes. He was like, I think we could get you into this class. Let me figure some things out. And I was like, yes. So besides the fact that I was like crazily put in at the last second and I got into this spot because I already had my writing classes out of the way because of my AP scores. So I got to go straight into a literature class. And this class did not disappoint. We got to read so many different people. I got to find out about like Luther and how like he kind of started it all. I mean, obviously there is no like start or end, but really he kind of started it all in terms of like European anti-Semitism and like finding out how it just adds onto each other. And like our last essay was just like, okay, so you've seen all the information. Now what do you think? Why were Jews, despite the fact that they only made up 0.75% of the population? Let that sit there right there. They did not even make up 1% of the population in Germany. But how did they capture so much of the German cultural imagination? It's just crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy, and it was such an interesting class. Wow. And even though he loves to tease me about how Alabama did not win and how they lost to Auburn so that they're not in the playoffs, it's okay. I'm okay. I'll be okay. Even besides that, I love this class. 10 out of 10 would recommend to anybody who goes to my college. So after that class, I had Journalism 101, which is just an intro level class. It's intro to mass communications. So if you decide to take the journalism path, the business journalism path, or the strategic communications path, all of these students have to take this class first. And then you also have to take a news writing class, which I'm taking next semester. And then you are able to break off into your different pathways. So I'm so happy I took Journalism 101 this past semester because now I am able to finish up those like prereq classes my freshman year, well, first year, we don't consider ourselves freshmen at my college, but my freshman year and sophomore year, I'll be able to do like more branching off into journalism, which is what I want to do. And it's super exciting. I'm super excited about it all, as you can probably tell through this video. But not gonna lie, it definitely, even though my professor just like completely switched it up, it still was like a history class, which isn't like super fun, but her projects were so cool. Like we got to make a news package for Peter Baker, who was a New York Times White House correspondent, and we got to cover him, and it was really cool because that was like our final project. We also got to subclip, which was pretty cool also, and we got to write an article. My article sucked, but we did get to write an article and get to see like the whole like journalism shebang to make sure that you actually want to do it. And after seeing this, I was like, I do actually want to do it. So after journalism, I had German, and actually the cool thing about my schedule is that I went from 8:30 to 12 o'clock, Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, except Wednesdays were slightly different sometimes, but we'll get to that later once we get to the 1-credit classes. But 8:30 to 12, just back to back to back, and then I'm done for the day. And I love that. Honestly sad that I can't do that again next semester, just because journalism 201 kind of screwed that up for me. But it's okay, we'll get that again sophomore year, hopefully. But back to German. I actually placed into the 3rd semester of German here at my college. I'm sorry, I'm just saying my college. I'm not really sure I want to reveal the place that I go to. Obviously, if you know, then you're going to know, but it is a pretty small place, and I feel like safety-wise, it's probably not the smartest thing to do. But anyway, I was in the 3rd level semester of German, and not gonna lie, I was placed in the perfect class for myself. Like I honestly it wasn't a snooze, but it was a great class for me to be in. I learned a lot of different grammar things that like, it just perfectly branched into like what I had learned in high school and just like continued on off of that. And it was everything I really hoped would happen in a German class. And I hope to travel to Germany soon. So we will see about that. So yeah, I'm excited to continue on with German, and I actually just found out I was planning to do a German minor. And honestly, with my placement, I will be done with a German minor my like sophomore first semester of sophomore year, basically. So honestly, I think I'm gonna try and go towards a major because I want to actually become fluent, and I don't see the point of finishing my German studies sophomore year when I have 2 more years that I could devote to studying this language, because I do like this language. So unless this class next semester is just absolutely terrible and I'm just like, those are the 3 classes that were my core. German was 4 credits, literature was 3 credits, and journalism was 3 credits. So that gets me up to 10 credits so far, and then I got the rest of my credits to get me up to 14 through 1-credit classes. So that actually meant I had 4 1-credit classes. I didn't even realize that. I'm sorry. Going back to Wednesday though, sometimes this changes up, and instead of me ending at 12, I end my day at 1 o'clock, because one of the 1-credit classes I took was Politics 191. And this class was so cool. We got to actually listen to calls with the Council on Foreign Relations, and it was every other week. It was a seminar class, and it was just so much fun to hear from these experts in their fields, and also just to build off your own opinion off the things that you are hearing in these talks. So another class that I would 10 out of 10 would recommend. But I also don't have my grades back from this class yet, because part of the class is in February. We take a trip to New York and we visit the Council on Foreign Relations, and we also visit the UN. So that's super cool, and I'm really, really excited for it. I'm not excited for the cold, but I am excited to take that trip. After that, I had Tuesdays, Thursdays. We're gonna go ahead and talk about those. On Tuesdays, I had 2 classes. No, wrong. I had 3 classes because German was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. But the 2 new classes that we're gonna talk about is I went to a first-year class. It's basically a first-year seminar. We had discussions on like how to be best prepared to be a great student your freshman year, basically. I loved my teacher in this class. This class, I actually had to take it because I did the summer program over the summer, but hopefully I'll still get to be a student's leader because they are planning to double the number of sections of this class next year, and I'm really excited about that. I'm excited to see what happens because this is the pilot program for this class, because they're hoping that within like 3 to 4 years that they will have this class be rolled out to the entire first year class, and that's what we're gonna do. Anyway, after that I had weightlifting, so I literally never came dressed up to this class, which made me kind of sad because I did enjoy it, but I had to wear workout clothes. I actually found in college that I really did try a lot more than like I did in high school. Not to say that I didn't try outfit-wise in high school, because I definitely did, but I thought I was gonna like become like leggings and sweatshirt gal, but I didn't. I actually was more of like a jeans, let's wear a nice sweater and jewelry, that sort of thing. Like, I don't know. I really don't know why. I have no reasons why. Like, why am I trying so much? People don't care. But also, like, it was a fun, like, relief in the morning to be like, let's wake up and figure out what I'm gonna wear today. How are we gonna dress to slay the day today? So, Tuesdays I wasn't able to do this because right afterwards I had weightlifting, which was so much fun, so much fun. I never thought that I was gonna be like a big weight gal, but now like I really have incorporated it into my workouts, because I found that like this is preferable to cardio and like HIIT workouts, and I was a big like spin gal, but now like doing weights is just a bit more fun for me. That's all that I have for Tuesdays. And then on Thursdays I just had weightlifting and then my broadcast practicum, which is like journalism 162, and this was so much fun. This allowed me to anchor over the entire semester every other week, every other Thursday, and it was so much fun. I loved my entire crew. As you guys know, that is kind of like the career path that I see for myself, becoming a broadcast anchor, and it was such a great experience. It allowed me to read off teleprompters, see if I could actually do the dang thing, and I think I can, and I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen with that, because I am planning on continuing to do it next semester also, so we'll see, but definitely 2 thumbs up for that class. So as I said before, I did get all A's, so that's really all there is to say about like my classes and whatnot. I really enjoyed it. I think I had a bomb schedule. There was no there was no professor that I didn't like. Obviously that could change next semester, but in terms of this one, I really enjoyed it. Anyway, so now let's get into like the social scene, the stuff that you probably actually came for. It's interesting to say the least. I'm gonna say like start off with like the cons before I get into the pros of it, just because I like to end on a good note rather than end on a bad note. But I think my biggest issue this past semester has been not finding a church home that I felt really fit with me. Being at home, I was always a person who went every single Sunday, and I understand that having a relationship with God goes further than a church building. But I really enjoyed having that fellowship with people who were like-minded as me, who I knew I could go to that person. I had mentors in my church who I looked up to. And being in such a small town, there's just not a lot of options, and the options that were there just didn't really fit the type of church that I like to go to. The one church that was like the closest of them all, I felt like the actual sermons just weren't deep enough for me. And that's not to say that I'm just like some high and mighty Christian gal. I need the deep stuff. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I need more than just piecemeal. I need more than just you open up the Bible and just read a couple of verses and you say a little bit about it. I don't need baby food anymore. I'm ready for some solid food. And I felt like I was getting that at home, and I wasn't getting that in college. And that's now like where I spend the majority of my time. And it's like, it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things where I feel like when you have like a slightly like God-sized hole in your life, you start to see like your decision making like disintegrate a tiny bit. And that's not to say that I don't have like Bible time like at night, because that's like when I like to have my quiet times. That's not to say that that is like meaningless to me, but I do think that there is a time and a place to have those meaningful relationships in a church home, because there's just something that comes from having those mentors who are older than you, who have had a more seasoned walk with Christ than you have. And I feel like I haven't really had that. And the one place that I did find that really just like matched me perfectly, I don't have a ride consistently to go there. So that kind of also has just like been affecting my mood, been affecting how I feel about my college experience, because I feel like that is the biggest part. Like, yes, I'm here to be like studying, but I'm also here to grow in Christ. And I don't know, I'm excited to have a car hopefully next school year, because that'll allow me to actually go to the church that I feel really aligns with, like getting a nice deep message each week that's consistently great, getting great worship time, because that allows me to just really connect and just be refueled for a very interesting week in college, because it can get very tiring. And yes, you're probably thinking, well, aren't there ministries in your college that allow you to have that similar experience? And yes, there is, but there's something to be said about a Sunday. This is my day. This is my Sabbath. Thursdays, which is when like RUF happens, or like Wednesdays, I believe, is when InterVarsity happens. Those are great, but I have to go to classes before that. I'm on a completely different mindset those days. Those are like my grind days. And yes, I like to say that like I still love to go to those things, but I also know that sometimes schoolwork gets in the way. And it's really a choice between, do I go and then I have to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning to finish my homework, or do I not go so that I can actually get some sleep? And that's just a terrible like decision that anybody has to make, and you shouldn't have to be picking or choosing. And I just really, really hope that things work out, because I have gone to some people to try and see if that can change, to see if we can get like actual transportation, and I will definitely let you guys know about that. But that's been a really big thing that I've just felt like has really affected me. It's put a damper on my feelings about this entire semester, because I'm like, yes, I love these aspects of college, but also I know it could be so much greater if I had this. And that's just facts. It really is just a fact of life. I am not a partier, so sorry to disappoint. I have been to some parties at my college, and I will say that we have a very interesting party environment. And I feel like I went out, like, let's just say like 3 times maybe this entire semester. And could I have gone out more? Yes, but it wasn't that fun. There was only one party that I was like, that was actually really, really fun, because I don't drink, and I'm not I'm not trying to be crazy. I'm just there to make sure that my friends are safe. But there was one party that had like really fun music, and I don't know, it's just not really my thing. And especially since I did like meet someone, I just prefer to hang out and just watch movies with my friends, or watch movies with him, than like actually like go out. Plus, I'm not really trying to send off like double messages or like mixed messages with like my fave, because I understand that some people could think that that's a little weird for me to be like, she's a Christian girl, but she also goes to these parties. But like, I don't know, I consider it more of one of those things where if I want my friends to be safe, and I do like listening to like pop music and just dancing around, like I don't drink, I'm not breaking the law, I don't really see a big issue with it. Let's see, besides that, I do have a really great group of friends, and I'm very happy that I have met them. A lot of them I met over the summer, and I didn't realize that they were going to become like my best friends, but they are, and it's really, really fun. It's really fun to just do life with them. Plus, I have found a group of like like-minded women who also follow Christ, and it's just been really nice to also have like their fellowship, because they also are kind of going through a similar thing where they just don't really have a church home here, because there's just not a lot of options. And especially if you are a person who is used to having a certain level of quality to their worship, to their sermon, it's like it's really hard to say that you're going to take a step back when you want to continue taking steps forward. Some of the most fun things that happened this semester were the 2 dances. My college did a homecoming dance, which was really, really fun. It was like the first dance that I went to with the boy that I met. It was just so funny. It was so funny to see everybody dressed up. And like literally I wore my Converse with my dress because I was just not feeling the heels thing. And it was cold. I'm not playing those games. And then we actually had a mock convention, which is when we actually, essentially, we're picking a Democrat who we think will become their presidential candidate from the primaries, and we are picking it beforehand. So it's been so much fun. They did a dance as like a giant fundraiser, and the band was amazing. The band was absolutely amazing, and it was just so much fun to like get dressed up. I really wish that I could have filmed it all, but my camera broke during that time. Rest in peace. Besides that, I'm trying to think of the other like cool stuff that I did. I went to DC twice this past semester. Once with my journalism class to go visit the museum, which is how I got the picture on my lock screen. And also I went to DC just to go see the African American History Museum, and I didn't even get to finish seeing it, and we were there for like an entire day. I also went to go see Cleopatra and Antony in person. I actually have figured out like in college that I'm actually a pretty big play person. I really enjoy going out to go see the theater. Lastly, let's talk about the mental, emotional aspects of college. I'm gonna be honest, my exam week was relatively chill, even though I was sick as a dog literally the weekend before, and I was telling some of my friends, like, it's honestly it was a blessing in disguise that I had already gotten a lot of the work for my exams done beforehand, because I was like, I don't know, I may leave some stuff off till like I get home, because I got home early and we're allowed to take our exams at home, so I was like, I may just take these exams at home. But little did I know I was gonna have flu-like symptoms, but I tested negative for the flu and I tested negative for the strep throat. And I was just over here like, what did I do to deserve this? What did I do? Just laid in bed, slept for most of that exam week. So it was so good that I did not have like a really heavy exam week. I cannot say the same for midterms. I had a super heavy midterm week. I think the biggest thing that like also put a damper on like my mood has been, besides the weather, has just been the fact that I've been sick on and off this entire semester. Literally, I was sick the entire Thanksgiving break week. I was sick before Thanksgiving break. I had to miss class because I had tonsillitis. Then I had flu-like symptoms. Like, there was just a lot of stuff that happened. I had allergies. Like, ever since fall started, I had allergies on and off the entire time. It was just so much fun, so much fun. I love that for me. But, yeah, that's really it. I mean, besides that though, there were so many like great days like that I can look back on. Like, I went to go see the Joker, which I didn't like that movie, but like it was a great time with like the person that I went with. Or like going to go get like Thai food, because why not? There's just so many like great memories that like, there's so many highs. There are a few lows, as I've already kind of talked about, but there were so many highs. College is just so much fun. I'm so excited for next semester, guys. I don't think you guys even know, because it's gonna be a really fun semester. We're gonna have spring break, we're gonna have February break. There's just so many things that are gonna be happening, so many things that I hope that are gonna just end up going right. So that's really all I have to say about my semester. It's went great. If you have any other questions about like, how does college go? Do you want any college-centered videos? Definitely leave them down below. Don't forget to like, comment those questions down below, and subscribe to this channel, because I'm here to stay this time. And I think that's all I have for you guys. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.